Right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, right, most of you still, this is catch up Wednesday where you make sure all of your assignments are turned in. Most of you, all of you, need to finish your Gizmo activity. And then you need to make sure that the last thing you do is to take the quiz at the end, the assessment. This will record for me, and I will add that score to your worksheet score. All right, so the worksheet is worth 55 points. The quiz has 5 questions, so that will be an additional 5 points added to your score. So please, please, please. Okay, let me wait till everybody's in so I don't have to repeat this twice. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All righty. So again, the most of you owe me the assignment for the dichotomous key. So make sure that you complete the key. And then last but not least, do the assessment quiz. The one person who submitted is not here. Everybody else needs to submit. Okay. And make sure that you do the quiz. Otherwise, that's -5 automatically when you don't do the quiz. Okay. For the last question on the worksheet, let me pull that up real quick. Where am I? Why do I have 2 different things? Okay. On the worksheet. Same, I think. All right. So for the last question. All right. For this one, they gave you 4 pictures and then you created a key based on that. For the last one, it says practice. You want to do the same thing. You can pick any one of the other organisms, and on a separate sheet of paper, you are going to download 4 pictures and you are going to create a key that you're going to use to identify the 4 pictures that you put up. Okay. All right. So again, let me switch back over here. So what I mean by that, okay, there we go. All right, so that means that you can go back, for example, and pick Mr. Fish. And then what you want to do is take 4 of the pictures from the fish and then create your own key, 2-step key that will lead you to identify. How would you identify each of these? And then you can use the kinds of terminology that they've already used, is flattened body, elongated torso, that kind of thing. Um, so use those. Notice the clues are always the same. So even though I've changed the picture, they're still asking me for a flattened body and long streamlined body. So use these to help you make your key. And then as you go on to specialize in each organism, you'll fine tune it until you get to the point where you are naming the organism. All right. So again, I'm going to repeat that. You are going to, for that last question, okay, back over here. So for the last question, practice 2, you are going to choose one organism, create 4 pictures like the one up here. So you're going to do the same thing you did for the albatross with an organism of your choice. Take screenshots of the organisms in that group, not of all the organisms, but the organisms in the group that you pick. and then create a key that will identify them. Okay? And you're not making it up, you're taking the words that are already in the project to use to create 3 steps or 4 steps if you need in order to identify whatever organisms that you picked. So notice this last column should, so these last boxes over here should have names of organisms. It's going to step 2 should take you to a characteristic that names one of your organisms. If you have to go to step 3, there should be a name for each of the organisms in step 3. And ask questions if you need to. Okay. All right. If you have completed that, there is a progress learning assignment, but I think most of you need to do this. Everybody who's here today right now needs to do this. So we'll worry about progress learning later, but everybody needs to do this. Okay. All right, even though it says Friday is the due date, I'm not going to spend class time on it again. So if you don't get it done today in class, then you have to do it on your own. Because we are moving on. Friday we'll be doing something else. Remember, we are trying to get through all of our topics because you have an end of course test to do. So we can't stretch everything out forever. All right, good morning, Zayla. We are completing the dichotomous key gizmo, making sure that you create your separate page for step 2 on this one, and then finally taking the assessment quiz in the actual gizmo device. 55 points for the worksheet, 5 points for the quiz. Oops. Hmm, didn't mean to stop sharing. Just went on the right page. Okay. I just pulled this one up because some of you got that question about the would the animal be related to a mountain lion? A mountain lion is a common name. Technically, another common name would be cougar, but the mountain lion's scientific name is Puma concolor, which is not oncala. So they are not related. And then you could have simply said because they don't have the same genus and species name. There actually is no such organism as the one that they had on the paper. Okay, so I just pulled that up just to help some of you. Most of you answered it correctly, but a couple of you were a little bit off on that question. Okay, so the mountain lion is a common name. Cougar is also a common name. The scientific name for both is Puma concolor, which means it is not related to the jaguar. All right, folks, we have a few minutes left to class. Make sure you finish up whatever you're doing. Again, we'll not be spending class time on this next class. So make sure that you complete this on your own time, but it is due by Friday. Those of you who didn't, I think well, only one person, two people have still owe me the taxonomy worksheets. That one is past due, so yeah. Maybe, maybe. But you weren't by yourself, so that's why I felt I needed to pull that up to so everybody could see what that looked like. All right. All right. So again, if make sure that you get this finished up. If you have no questions for me, you have a great rest of your afternoon and see you next class.